Well, Ann Coulter, of course, a best-selling author. Her latest book, In Trump We Trust, huge New York Times bestseller. If you want to read the Trump book, you should get it, In Trump We Trust. In fact, she's doing a book signing here in Manhattan pretty soon. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you, Mark Simone?
Excellent. What night is that book signing?
It is, thank you for asking, a week from tonight.
Oh, so that's next Wednesday night.
February 1st at the Women's National Republican Club, which is 3 West 51st, right across from Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, but I think actually go to anncoulter.com and you get all the details there. I think you have to make a reservation. Last time you tried to do this and they had so many people, they had to move it to a bigger room.
Yes, I felt bad about postponing it, but it was too small a room.
And before we're done with this, it will be at the Javits Center. It'll be like Hillary election night.
As long as you're there.
This is the day you've been waiting for. Today's the day.
Yes, it is.
Donald Trump will be making all kinds of announcements today about the wall, the funding, and when it's going up. You must be very happy.
I am, though I'm still waiting for him to appoint Chris Kobach immigration czar. That's what's really going to get it done.
Well, no, it's going to get done anyway. Funding will be in place.
Well, the wall will get done, but as I think I've said on your show before, unless you have the other parts, the deportation part, you're really just walling them in. And as I describe in Adios America and in Trump We Trust, everything Trump proposed on immigration is already the law. In fact, one somewhat comical example of this is a certain network keeps pushing Kate's Law for Kate Steinle, who was killed by an murdered horribly, you'll all recall, by the illegal alien who had already been deported a few times, already convicted of crimes a few times. Oh, by the way, all nonviolent drug felonies, which we're always hearing are so peaceful. Until he committed murder, all of his convictions were for nonviolent drug crimes. In any event, the big push is, well, this ought to be a 10-year felony if you're deported for committing a crime and you come back in. Well, the law is already makes it a 15-year felony.
Hey.
So that's fantastic. If only someone who knew about immigration were talking about this. And that's why you need Chris Kobach. He knows what the law already is. I mean, think of all these shootings, San Bernardino and the Orlando gay nightclub, Boston Marathon, as I also have an entire chapter in Adios America. All of these refugee and asylee cases are frauds. The New Yorker magazine had a long article a few years ago, and New Yorker, not a hotbed of immigration patriotism or pro-Trump sentiment. They had a big article on how there are all these outfits, presumably funded by people like George Soros, feeding foreigners who are here, who have overstayed their visas, stories on what country to say they are from, what horror to claim they have been victims of. No, you can't use clitorectomies. They don't use that in this particular country. You're going to have to say you were raped by generals' forces, certain warlords. They memorize tapes, and they go in and put on an act. And the woman writing the article for The New Yorker, she's describing one of the fake refugees just crying on command and then finding out the whole thing was just a tape she had listened to. She wasn't even from the country. She happened to be in America going to a wedding or something. So all of these refugee and asylee cases, or I would say minimum 90%, are frauds. How do you get rid of them, though? That's an automatic entry here. Well, you get rid of them by prosecuting them for fraud, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
Usually not until they make a spectacle of themselves, like that maid who accused, who was the World Bank guy?
Yeah, Dominique Kahn. No,
Strauss-Kahn. Yeah.
Strauss-Kahn, yeah.
Strauss-Kahn. Okay, remember, she makes a spectacle of herself. That's how we find out that her whole asylum story was a fraud. And by the way, I'm sure she's still living here.
Hey, why would Donald Trump say there's voter fraud? I can't imagine anything like that taking place in Chicago or New York or Philadelphia. What kind of crazy thinking is that?
Okay, again, Adios America is the Rosetta Stone for basically everything under the sun, because everything is solved by fixing immigration. I I have an entire chapter on how we have no idea how many illegal immigrants are here. Minimum 30 million, absolutely positively minimum 30 million, which is explained. I won't bore you with here unless you want me to bore you with it, but I can tell you why. Minimum 30 million, probably much more likely 50 or 60 million illegal immigrants here. We get this same nonsense from the left when it comes to how many immigrants, legal and illegal, are in prisons in America. I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to figure out. It's a little bit complicated figuring out how many illegals are here, but but immigrants in prison have come into substantial contact with government authorities. They've been arrested, they've been in jail, they've been prosecuted, they've, met, the entire judicial system has them. They are sitting in jail. All we need to ask the government to do, i.e., people whose salaries we are already paying, is count. All we have to do is count. Now, which side of the equation is hysterically opposed to finding out the truth about, number one, how many illegal aliens are here, number two, how many are in prison, and now how many vote every year? They're the ones who refuse to allow the government to produce any information about this, and then they turn around and scream, liar, liar, pants on fire, no, there's no proof for this. Well, okay, why don't you tell us? Why don't we investigate that? Because I notice my side wants an answer. Your side doesn't want an answer, and then you turn around and call us liars when we make estimates.
You know, hey, also, they were making fun of Trump because the inaugural ratings were down, and then he responded with a tweet, and they said how petty, how terrible that he would make that. So he started making fun of CNN's ratings this morning. They just responded with a tweet. Can't we say the same thing about them? Why are they spending time on this? Why are they so petty to respond?
I think this is fantastic. I know even some of Trump's supporters say, oh, this is petty, just stick to the issues. No, I, for one, am sick of Republicans, being above it all and not responding to, petty, idiotic slanders. And this is petty and idiotic, but they started it. And I love when he punches back. It's not like it's taking a lot of time out of his day.
Yeah. To me, it's like a dog. He's just like throwing the bone. Here, go catch this. Bring it back.
Yes, and they're off and running, and they become hysterical. He really, I'm very pleased. Every day is like Christmas. Did you see that press conference? Not press conference, but the executive order signing yesterday. I was watching it live. That was with the Teamsters members there. He did not, he told the union leaders, I want to invite you guys, but I want some members too. Because, as he also told them, you guys may not have voted for me, but your members
Hey, that's a good point. He not only had the union leaders there, he actually made them get him a plumber and a carpenter, an electrician. He brought them in the White House. And
they're the ones who voted for him, not the union leaders who have been allowing the Democrats to send jobs abroad and shut down their factories.
Yeah, but people there say he actually took these guys aside and had long conversations with them about what their problems were and how to help them.
Yes, he genuinely likes working Americans. And when he was signing, there were two fantastic things he said. I don't have the direct quote because, annoyingly, the media didn't find this at all interesting. I was expecting it to be replayed all day. One, of course, I think you probably did hear, even if you didn't see it live, which signing the executive order for the Keystone Pipeline and the Dakota Pipeline. And he said, and these pipes will be made in America by Americans like we used to.
Yeah.
And there was another executive order expediting any infrastructure projects, to which he said something about, we don't have time. Look, our bridges are collapsing. Our airports are a mess. We don't have time for 2-year environmental reviews when our bridges are falling down.
Well, it's a great day. I hate to say we're out of time, but everybody go to AnnCoulter.com. She's got a big book signing here in New York City a week from tonight. Go to AnnCoulter.com. You've got it up there, right? They can get all the details.
Yes, you email or call to make sure you can get in, but I'm sure you can get in because we have the huge room now.
And get her book, In Trump We Trust. Go to AnnCoulter.com. You can get all this stuff there. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Great to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
Take care.